And we're live. NashvilleLou Live Tournament Edition is on the air. Hello, friends. It's your buddy Lou Pickney with you here. Time is of the essence. Let's take a look at the brackets for this tournament. This tournament being presented by BluMint.com. You can see the clock counting down. Let's bring up the brackets. It's important to note the top 8 finishers in this particular tournament will advance to next week in Game Fest. There's a lot going on with that. You'll see down here in the bottom left-hand corner, I have a first round bye. Luck of the draw for me. So I'll be taking on DeJohn J. I'm not sure if they're going to make us wait or if we'll be able to go straight away. As far as matching up, we'll find that out soon. So there's the red qualifier and the blue qualifier. So essentially it's the top 4 out of each. As you can see, some others down here as well. Sean IOP, Las Vegas. Hey, if I start naming too many names, Soul the Cat, I'll inadvertently leave off somebody like Delvis. So there's a lot of people on here I've played against, somebody I've never played against. And so that's the blue qualifier side. I'm on the red qualifier side. I'll be checking on that in just a moment. So I'm live streaming now, and I believe the online in, we'll get the online in a moment because we may be playing against each other. Maybe a first live versus live Warsaken Blitz. So this tournament, BluMint.com. Hello, Rexy. Yes, I'm in the tournament. All right, so let me go ahead and bring the slate back down. I was pointing out, though, multiple people streaming. I know Soul the Cat's been live streaming Warsaken Blitz longer than I have, so I would definitely defer to her if you're going to pick one person, but I'll do my best to show you what I've got going on and explain it all. So anyway, there I am, bottom left, online in. Moonbaz Marty, we faced off before a time or two on my live stream on NashvilleLou Live. So tournament mentioned BluMint, of course, along with that Warsaken and AtomicHub as far as the listed sponsors for this event. So I'm excited to be part of this. Real quick, you can tell top of the hour coming up. That's when it gets started. From earlier, there were 8 people that were able to advance, so you can see how it might go for me as far as if I can make it to that point. So it's best 2 out of 3 falls. It'll be best of 5 once we reach the finals, but that's not until next week. So as you can see here, I got to the last 4 on the red qualifier. This is for the early. It was the EU, a European Union themed, although it was just because that's a more convenient time for most people in Europe than right about now. And so you can see this part of it as well. A number of names that I've seen from time to time. And it was interesting following along. I'll tell you who did a whale of a job. It's Quadrell's art. He was having issues with his voice going into it. Like, man. And it was just him as far as the broadcasting for the early stuff. And he did a phenomenal job with it. So props to Quadrell for that. So anyway, that's a look of how it's setting up for next week as far as the earlier tournament. You can only be in one of the 2. So here I am in round 2. So now what I'm going to do, and I have to do this on a computer that you can't see. It's just part of it. I believe very soon it's going to pop up with a... well, let me just read it first before I start yammering away about what I think is going to happen. But I believe it's going to show me here some sort of a note in Discord. I've got Discord on the same computer that I'm streaming from. I tried to bring up the tournament tree as a browser source, and it just did not want to cooperate. And in the young but still very fresh feud, Lou versus technology, it's sometimes a challenge for me with the technical stuff. We'll get the best we can with it. Thank you, Rexy. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Well, at least there shouldn't be the noise of fighter jets flying over my home like I had the last time I Warsaken Blitz broadcast last Thursday. The Blue Angels were in town. It draws in a lot of people, the air show. It's just very loud. And so people got to see that and enjoy that. And so hopefully, who knows what kind of noise and run-ins might happen. You never know, it's a live broadcast. All right, so 1 minute from the top of the hour here, according to the clock I'm looking at on this. So I've got a first round bye. And again, the top 8 from tonight's tournament, there were 8 that qualified earlier. So the 8 from this one and the 8 from earlier will advance to next week. 16 people battling in the finals, so that should be a lot of fun. We'll see how much fun it is, though, if I can get past my first opponent. I don't believe I've ever had a match against DeJohn J, so that's going to be a new one for me. I hope I'm not missing something in Discord. I get very paranoid anytime I have to do anything dealing with Discord. It just does not go well for me. I'm legitimately afraid sometimes I'm going to break something. So let's see. Okay, red heat. All right, here we go. Thank you. All right, so let's see. So single elimination, best of 3. Top 8 players will advance to the finals, as noted. So I'm supposed to share screenshots of the results. Okay, that's going to be a little bit tricky for me because I don't have a... my computer's not quite set up to do that. We can... I'll have a live stream of it. What am I talking about? Anyway, we'll find a way. All right, so I need to figure out who needs to... Let's see. Hello. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring the slate up here for a moment as I get things ready to go. So we're going to be jumping right into the tournament with both of us having a round 1 bye. We'll get some action going right away here in round 2. So this is... Let's see. Do you have a code? Let's go. Okay. Well, I can provide it if need be. I'm not sure. Okay, I need to fix something real quick here. I didn't have it clicked properly. Actually, that's the wrong page. That's the one I wanted. There we go. Okay, let's see if I can get this code. Yes, let me paste it. Thank you. So with Warsaken Blitz, you have a leader, you have 4 territories, and then you have a deck of 60. That deck is called an arsenal. All right, so I've got the code. Here we go.
Warsaken.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Tissues. I'll keep it. If you have a halfway decent hand to start things off with, there's a risk to it taking a mulligan. This is NashvilleLou Live Tournament Edition. So 2 sets of 2 as far as the force cards, and then a pair of weather cards for my opponent. My turn. 3. Well, I got lucky. 3 of a kind WMD. It's going to take out 2 of my opponent's territories right away.
Select target.
Port of Carmasani. And Banker Island. Eliminated. That's it for my turn. You can only play 1 WMD per match in Warsaken Blitz. Blitz is a simplified version of Warsaken. Makes it very easy for player versus player matches. Makes it easy for people to learn how to play without being overwhelmed with all the detail on each card. And there's a lot of detail. Some great artwork as well. Go with a pair of Jax Nash cards. Those are force cards. And we'll go with a pair of Control the Message cards. Those are intel. I have 1 more action I can take for this turn. We'll play a Roman's Prototype. Oh. I'm going to try a live F5 here on... There we go. I guess I can just hit F5. I don't have to, like, constantly take the full screen down. Just hit F5. There's been a problem with that, and there may be some lag today. I don't know. That was an issue early on in the tournament. I think there's a lot of people playing at once. So hopefully that won't be too much of a problem, but I also don't want to overblow it either. I can hit F5. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't ruin the game. 3 more actions to go, and no, nothing further. It's tough when you've got those actions and cards in place for nothing to make 3 of a kind. It's my turn. It's a 6. When you roll 6, you get 6 cards and you get 6 actions. Start with 1 here with Jax Nash. Take out one of my opponent's 2 remaining territories.
Select target.
And we'll go with Mount Uptania production site. Okay, 5 actions to go for this turn. I'll play that second Roman's Prototype to match the one I've already got out there. 4 actions to go. I've got 2 spots open in my War Zone. War Zone is where you play your Legion, your cards that are in play. So we'll go with a pair of Fire in the Fields. Those are weather cards. Now, I'm going to keep this 4th spot open here and forego these final 2 actions. Some players don't approach it that way, but at least in this case I will here. And that'll end the turn. I'll forego the actions. It'll be my opponent's turn. This is NashvilleLou Live Tournament Edition. This is a round 2 matchup. 2 out of 3. Both my opponent and I had a first round bye. 1. A9 Hammerhead. That's it for my turn. So I have all 4 of my territories intact. My opponent only has 1 remaining. My opponent rolled a 2. If you get 3 of a kind with a weather card, you can get an extra turn. Start comboing those together, and you can turn things around in a hurry in Warsaken Blitz. 15 cards in my opponent's hands. You can see up there. No play. Wow, tough one. 6. All right. Okay, let's think about this for a second. Okay, we'll play the 2 remaining A9 Hammerheads here.
Select target.
Take out the vast hinterland. Save the vast for last. 4 actions to go. I just need 3 of a kind with a force to get the win.
Compromised.
So I can't do that at the moment. But play 3 of a kind building cards. Guard towers. Give it a moment to load. The artwork is worth it. Get a look. So 3 of a kind with that. And again, it's the category that it falls into. The detail on here doesn't really matter, with the exception of morale on your territory cards. But as far as stuff from your arsenal, it's very much a simplified version. Returning 3 to my hand and bring in Jax. Now, I'm going to be careful here, though. I'm not going to, even though I could put one out there and be in position to win, it could easily be an intel play to knock one of those out of play. So I'm just going to forego it and end my turn. It's a 6. And with those weather sitting out there, you know that there are going to be some pairs made. I could be going from having a very sizable lead to being in trouble. We'll see. 3-of-a-kind weather. That means an extra turn for my opponent after this one. 5 actions to go. 3-of-a-kind for a force that'll take out one of my territories. Thank you, Rexy. I appreciate it. Thank you. 4 actions to go for my opponent here. 3-of-a-kind force. I'm down to 2 territories. 1 action to go for this turn. Remember, my opponent has an extra turn to go along with this. There's a force card. Here's the extra turn. It's a 4. 4 actions and 4 additional cards from my opponent's arsenal into their hand. There's 3-of-a-kind force. I'll be down to 1 territory. 2 actions to go here for my opponent in this turn. So a pair of weather cards there. My turn. I just need to roll a 3 or higher. The 1. Oh, it's a 1. I'm not going to use a turn. I'm not going to use the action here. I'm going to forego it in my turn. I might not get another roll. 2. Well, we'll see. This is the first in a 2 out of 3 match battle. Round 2. This tournament. Thank you. Likewise, online, and good luck. So a roll of 2 for my opponent. Two-of-a-kind force. Again, I just need a 3 or higher. 6. I'm going to get the win right here. Jacks, Nash, 3-of-a-kind force. My opponent's got a compromised leader.
Select target.
So we got kind of close there at the end. But ultimately, I get the victory here. Take the first fall. All right, so I lead 1-0. Good game, and yes, for next one, question mark. All right, maybe I should put up, I don't know if you have to put it in chat, like, let's see, I'll put Lou leads 1-0. Again, it's Discord. I'm always afraid with Discord, like, I don't want to take anything for granted. I don't want to, because inevitably I'll overlook something. There'll be some category I didn't know, and I need to maximize to pull up a, there's a lot of things that can go wrong for me with Discord, but it does allow for some all sorts of communication possibilities if you can utilize it well. A lot of that's just user error on my part when it comes to me griping about Discord. Although I still contend that a lot of games would be well served to get a lot of the information out from behind that Discord wall. And here we go. The next code is in. Just from keeping it away from search engines and the like. I think makes it more difficult for people that might otherwise find out about the game who aren't able to stumble across it. We'll stick with the same deck.
Warsaken.
All right, here we go. No, I don't think, I mean a screenshot. I can pull back the video if I need to. I'm going to keep this. Got a halfway decent hand. Again, it's so risky. If you use that mulligan. I got very lucky in that last game because I had that 3-of-a-kind with a WMD very early. Made a huge difference. Taking out 2 territories right away. Here's a 1. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want it to. Like a Roman's prototype. And that's it for my turn. That's an intel card for my opponent, who could be going after my arsenal. You can get your arsenal milled which is not very pleasant. You get 6 cards sent from your deck, essentially, your arsenal, as it's called in the game, to your discard pile. It's 3 of a kind force. It's going to take out one of my territories. Three of a kind intel. I might be forced to discard 3 instead, going after my arsenal, getting 6 cards milled, sent to my discard pile. 5. Well, I got lucky here again with a WMD, 3 of a kind. Go ahead and play that one right away.
Select target.
So you only get to play 1 WMD per match in Warsaken Blitz. I'll take out Bandcare Island. The Mount Aptania production site. Well, I didn't click the proper spot. There we go. Eliminate. So it's 2 territories remaining for my opponent, 3 for me. I've got 2 more actions I can take for this turn. I'll play the second Romans prototype. I have 1 more action I can take, and I'll play the A9 Hammerhead. And that's it for my turn. Right about myself in the third person in chat, but Lou leads 1-0. Well, there's constantly new people tuning in. This is Warsaken Blitz NashvilleLou Live Tournament Edition. Second round of this single elimination tournament. It's 2 out of 3 matches. I'm up 1-0 here. Both my opponent and I had a first round bye, so a pair of weather cards and then a standalone weather card. My turn. Is this Inception? 1. That was 1 and sending you a message, or did that actually spin? Okay, what's going on here? Okay, I won. Say chicanery. Okay, so just the 1. That was odd. Okay, I'll play the A9 Hammerhead. It's a no-nonsense play. So a roll of 1 for my opponent. So 2 sets of 2 with the weather cards. Remember, 3 of a kind with the weather cards allow you to get either 3 additional actions for your turn, or what you'll usually take when you play that, an extra turn, which means an extra roll the die. 5. Okay. So I've got 2 sets of 2 out here. Nothing out there to make 3 of a kind. I'm going to play a pair of Blinding Sandstorms. These are weather cards. As much as it pains me to do it, I'm going to leave that 4th spot open in my war zone. I'm going to forego those 3 actions and in my turn. Six. So a roll of 6 for my opponent. Three of a kind weather. So that'll be an extra turn. 5 actions to go for this turn. 3 of a kind intel. Maybe going after my arsenal. Maybe going after the cards in my war zone, my legion out there. There is the haircut. 1 off the top of each. That's why I'm very hesitant when I have 3 of a kind to put 1 of them out there, or 2. Get a bad surprise in a hurry that way. Extra roll and it's a 6. Uh-oh. So it's 14 cards for my opponent. 6 actions in total here. 2 sets of 2 already out there. With the weather and the force. There's 3 of a kind force. It'll take me down to 2 territories remaining. 3 actions still to go for this turn. There's 2 with 1 action to go. 2 sets of 2 with the force cards out there in my opponent's war zone, and then 2 weather cards are there. 1 action to go here for my opponent. We each have 2 territories remaining. My turn. 1. Okay, well, WMD does me no good because you can only play 1 per match in Warsaken Blitz. Same deal as before. Would not necessarily be the case here because after getting the intel cards played, it does take that 1 each out of play as far as what I would need to make 3 of a kind. So I'm going to bring this back to my hand, open up a spot, and that's going to be it for my turn. My opponent rolls a 2. Three of a kind weather, that means an extra turn. 1 action to go here for my opponent in this turn. The force card, there's roll of 5. This could be it. We'll see. There's 3 of a kind for a force. I'll be down to 1 territory remaining. 3 actions to go. If there's 3 of a kind for those pair of force cards out there, my goose is cooked. 3 of a kind. We have a compromised leader. My 4th territory, take it out.
Compromised.
2 actions to go if it's 3 of a kind. With that lone remaining duo out there in my opponent's war zone, that'll be it for me. And instead, 2 of a kind force up against it. Let's see what I can roll here. 6. Okay, let's see what we can do. Okay. So we got the hammerhead and I got the Roman. But I don't have anything to make 3 of a kind if I were to bring it back from my discard pile. I could play the intel to mess with my opponents, and I might do that. But I think I will actually go back for play the guard tower first. Or actually, I don't think I did that the way I meant to. We'll get the pair of Roman's prototypes. That's not the way I should have played that one, I don't think. But we'll make the best of it. A9 hammerhead, we'll bring that back. That was not... Okay, you know what? That actually did work out okay. Because now I can play the pair of Roman's prototypes here. Nice, like, textbook play from me here, but I'm up against it, as you can tell. This will take out the port. My opponent will be down to 1 territory. 1 action to go for this turn. We'll play the other A9 hammerhead. That'll be it. Again, it's 3 of a kind for my opponent. That's a risk I took, not using that intel to go after those force cards, but what I opted to do. It's a 3. We'll see if it costs me here. That's going to be 3 of a kind. That's a force. That's going to be the match. We tied up at 1. Deliberate. All right, so we're tied. 1 each. We're going to go to that 3rd and deciding matchup here in just a moment. But ready whenever you are. So we're tied up at 1 apiece. Just going to type that in chat. Best of 3. I don't see anything looking in the brackets on another screen on my computer here. Thank you, Rexy. Thank you. All right, let's see. Okay, great. I've got the code. Thank you. So the winner of this match advances to the next round. The loser's out. That's the way it works. Was that an O and not a 0? That code didn't seem to work. I tried it with a 0, tried it with an O. We'll check. Okay, new code. Thank you. I just needed to refresh it there perhaps, because that's what I just did. You don't have to take it at a full screen, so to F5 and it'll refresh it. And that seems to work out pretty well. It's a rib now. Okay, let me type, this isn't working for me. This is cooperating. One moment, please. It won't click through. And then a little frowny face. Okay. Give me 1 second, please. I'm gonna get this to work. And I'm not the only person with a live stream going. Soul the Cat was getting ready to get started. I'll have to get caught up in a little while on that. So I'm going to try again now. In the code, or with the code that was given to me. Part of the challenge is trying to get some sort of player versus player. Let's see. This'll work. Hey. My opponent said he's watching another stream. Somebody else is having that same problem. Okay. So a Warsaken server issue. But okay. Thank you for letting me know. But let me try code, maybe. Let me see if it'll actually let me... Before I offer one, let's put... Oh, no. We'll see if we can do it this way. Yeah, and luckily my opponent and I had the same thing in mind. I sent a code that way. Thank you. I'm going to double check. I would hate to have sent the code and to be like a typo or my mild dyslexia kicking in. May just have to wait a moment. A little extra attention. So we're tied up at 1 apiece. This is round 2. Yeah, I'm going to tell you for a moment. Maybe I can bring up the slate. While we wait for that code to connect. See if this will work the way I want it to. Okay. So as you can see, bottom left-hand corner, first round bye for both myself and the John J. Online N also had a first round bye. Take on the winner between Moonbaz Marty and Oh Noise O. So that's just a quick look at that. I'm going to try and prioritize getting the third and deciding match going. I may have to double back as far as a connect code attempt. I have to actually pull up another screen to see. It says it's loading, so okay. Oh, okay, it's loading. But okay. It shows... Not showing on my end. This is a bit of a stress test of sorts for the servers that normally haven't had this volume necessarily of matches in a short amount of time, but with these tournaments, be putting it to the test. So hopefully whatever, and that may be an unrelated issue, I have no idea. Okay, let me see if there's something I'm missing in another room here. This is the madness of trying to chase information on Discord in a live tournament. Let's see. Oh, I reached level 1. Okay. I don't even know what that means. Now I've lost my place where I was with the important stuff. Oh, there we go. There's red heat. I can find that. Okay, let me see. My opponent's going to have typing something right now, so we'll see. He says, yeah, I disconnected me. Okay, let's try again. Here's my camo deck. Whoa, I don't think that was the right move there. I'm almost gonna throw myself into like the auto match. Okay. Oh, it says, yeah. I got a note that says, Blitz is temporarily down for maintenance. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring the slate. Oh, yeah, the slate's up, so you're not even seeing it, so okay. I will show you though, so you know what I'm talking about. I'm just babbling nonsense. It really does say Blitz is temporarily down for maintenance. That was a shoot, brother. Okay, so go back to the slate. I'm going to bring this out of full screen. I'm going to outright close out of the Warsaken app, which really is just running Chrome, but that's what I've been utilizing here, because the app has worked well for me. Times it gets a little bit stubborn as far as not wanting to recognize clicks. That's usually after I've played for a while, though. Okay. All right, cloud disconnected. Hook me up with a cloud. Stat. Okay, let me see if my opponent had anything else. Okay, so it's same. Okay. Oh, it's giving me the not ready, not owned gimmick. And usually when that happens, you have to refresh it. So I don't want to, if they're trying to restart everything or fix something, I don't want to overwhelm them. By the same token, sometimes a good F5 or 2 will get you places in life. Okay. See, now it's okay with the... So if you ever run across it, if you're playing Warsaken Blitz and you get the, oh, you don't have these cards, don't panic. You might just have to reset it or just refresh it. But it's worth it. This game's a lot of fun. Okay. So I'm going to give another code to my opponent. So we're tied at 1 in this best of 3 matchup in round 2. We each had a first round bye.
Warsaken.
Here we go. All right. Oh, yeah, I'm keeping that for sure. Although it can get misleading with the camo. Sometimes it makes you think you got more than you really do, but this is a pretty nice little setup. 3. I play a pair of lasting blizzards. So 1 action to go for this turn, and I'll play Brainwash, an intel card. And that's it for my turn. My opponent rolls a 4. I won the first matchup. My opponent won the second. So the winner of this third matchup will be the winner in advance. Round 3. There's 3 of a kind with a force. So we're down now to the 3 territories. 1 action to go for this turn. It's a force card played by my opponent. That'll end the turn. My turn. 5. Those building cards stacking up over there. Well, play the Brainwash. Make 2 of a kind there. I've got 4 actions I can take for this turn. I really want to hold off on the WMD stuff until... well, I shouldn't have 2 specialists in the same deck, but I do. So, I mean, it feels like a waste. But I hate throwing something out there that's just 1 of a kind. Putting that out there is just asking for an intel card to get played. So, as much as I don't like it, I'm not going to use any of those actions remaining and in my turn. It's a 2. I'm down to 3 territories. When all of your territories are taken out in Warsaken Blitz, at that point, your leader is compromised. All it takes to take out a compromised leader is 3 of a kind with force. It's 2 of a kind with force. My opponent's turn ends. My turn. 3. And you have this little slider here to help you when it's over here on this side. So, interesting spot as far as which way you play it with intel when your opponent only has 2 cards out in their war zone. The earlier the better in a match if you're going to try to mill them, certainly, but even just making them discard. But with 9 cards up there, that's still a tough decision. So I'm going to force 3 discard, or to be discarded. And I've got 2 more actions I can take here for this turn. Now I can at least get the 2 underwater mines out there. And that'll end my turn. Because you can't even play them. Even though you can't use a building card until you have something in your discard pile. You can't even put them out there like 2/3 of the way until you can actually use it. So, roll of 1 for my opponent. I hope I don't have the slate up on this other one. I do. Let me pull the slate back down. I had the wrong screen pulled up there. It's kind of abrupt. I was putting some stuff together with these OBS studio scenes, trying not to mess things up. So 3 actions to go here for my opponent. 2 of a kind with the force card there. 1 action to go for this turn. 2 sets of 2 with the force cards. My turn. 1. Well, get the underwater mines in use. And not much of a choice when you only have 3 down there. We'll take them all. That's it for my turn. 5. Uh-oh. My opponent rolled a 5. Three of a kind weather cards. That means an extra turn for my opponent. 2 actions to go for this turn. Two of a kind with the intel cards. The extra turn. It's a roll of 5. Uh-oh. 5 actions here for my opponent. 3 of a kind intel. Going after my arsenal, milling 6 cards from my arsenal, my deck, into my discard pile. 4 actions to go for this turn for my opponent. 3 of a kind intel. Will this also mill? And will. And your arsenal milled is no fun. Because when your arsenal hits 0 cards, at that point your leader becomes compromised. And there's a standalone weather card. My turn. Yeah, I got the Inception gimmick going on here. It's such a rib. If that's a 1, then so be it. But wait, 6. Okay. Oh my. Well, and laugh it up for now. I know I've got a lot of choices here. Oh. Yeah. So always bring your cards down. You can think about it for a second. So I've got the forces I can use, but these intels over here, I think. Look at those opposite me. Use 3 of a kind with a brainwash. We're going back to get those with the building cards. Wanted to play all 3 of them. Whoa, what was that? Okay, what like random stuff doing? Okay, that was really weird. Okay, let's do the bouncing first. Did it play a card for me? What just happened there? That was weird. Oh, we'll get rid of the Selfless Hero.
Select target.
Get rid of Bella Ivanova.
Select target.
We'll get rid of the Freezing Rainstorm. I'll try it again. It's too slippery. So what happened here? Chloe just did a run-in? Did I misplay on my part? Well, I've got 2 more right here. It's just... Lou, we decided we need a little bit of help here. We're just going to have Chloe get you going. Okay, I played 2 more of these. If we'll actually play the right cards here. I don't know if I can trust it right now. That's kind of weird. Come on, Chloe. I don't know what's going on here, why it's getting gummed up like this. But all's well that ends well. Take out Bankir Island. Alright, my opponent's going to roll me to F5 to refresh. See if that'll help things any. There we go, see? 1 action remaining. So this is match 3 of 3 here. Winner of this advances to the next round. Both my opponent and I had a first round bye, so this is a second round matchup. 1. Don't wait for the card to drop in. Well. Play a dropship. That'll end my turn. Come on. This is not the time for this. Come on. As if me lecturing it's going to make it any faster. Ugh. Maybe I'll use a different dropship. They're all the same. Okay, that was really weird. But okay. This is Warsaken Blitz. NashvilleLou live. I appreciate everybody taking the time to watch. Yeah, server's laggy. That's something that Rexy noted there in chat. Roll a 5. Uh-oh. You've got a lot of people playing at once here at this tournament. This is the second of 2 tournaments taking place today. Really a prelude of sorts. What's coming up next week for the finals. 8 people earlier today advanced to next week's finals. And 8 will as well from the tournament that I'm in here. 5 actions to go here for my opponent. I don't know if it's as buggy for my opponent as it's been for me. Definitely want to get plenty of patience and understanding on this. So a weather card, a building card, 3 actions to go for my opponent. Two of a kind with the weather, 2 actions to go. A third weather would mean an extra turn for my opponent. So some pullbacks there for my opponent. That was unusual there. 6. All right. Play the Lasting Blizzard. Guess I'll have to play these one at a time. Come on. Oh, no, what is this? I'll take the extra turn before I... No. What just happened there? Did it give me credit for playing 2? What? Well, let's see if the dropships will cooperate. This time. Maybe I'll just wait a moment. Oh, it saddens me. There's a certain helplessness I feel when I'm live streaming a game and it's not up to its peak performance. So I always want to show games off at their best. And this is just a symptom, I think, more of a lot of people playing at once. And, well, I'm at a loss on some of this one. What's going on? I can only do one at a time. Okay, well, F5 it. Got Brock Lesnar in here. I'm going to F5 it over and over. 5 actions to go. Okay. Dropships. Will this cooperate? Answer, no. Man. Play one at a time. Rexy, LOL, I have the same problem. Yeah, I don't know what to say here. Just gonna give it a moment. Whoa, what in the world's going on here? Okay, this is not good. We're in the deciding match of a best of 3. And I've got ghost hands getting played here. This is not good.
Select target.
And I strongly suspect my opponent ran into something similar in the last turn, so... Ugh. Okay. What in the world is going on here? Alright, well, let's see. Well, you know what? I got 1 out there. I put out 2. The game's taken over. I'll get the extra turn, so there's that. 3. This one.
Select target.
2 out there. I'm gonna have my opponent with a... Wow, what a strange match. It's not over yet. What a strange match this has been. I'll have an opponent with a compromised leader.
Compromised.
All right, 2 actions to go. I'm going to be as deliberate as I can here, because I don't know why these controls are acting weird, but maybe if I'm just slower and more deliberate, we won't run into problems. First things first. Okay, that's my instigated riots. Just so I know what I'm looking at out there. The camo. Let's see. 2 actions to go. I'm going to go with a selfless hero. I'm going to go one at a time to see if that makes a difference. Nice and slow. Okay, my opponent's turn. So we're actually saying the server overflow. Well, added a heightened sense of tension, if nothing else. No play for my opponent. My goodness, here we go. 1. Playing instigated riots. But that's it for the turn. Oh my. It's a roll of 5 for my opponent. Three of a kind weather, so that means an extra turn for my opponent. 4 actions to go for this turn. 17 cards my opponent's hand. Three of a kind WMD. I'm going to be down to 1 territory. Uh-oh. One action to go for this turn for my opponent, and then an extra turn. This is match 3 of 3 in the second round of the second of 2 tournaments held today here in Warsaken Blitz. Both my opponent and I had a first round bye, so this is a second round matchup. There's a force card. Oh, it's a 6. It's a 6 for my opponent. It's going to take 2 sets of 3 with forces to cost me the match. If my opponent has it, we'll see. Oh, there's 3 of a kind with a force. Compromised leader.
Compromised.
My opponent has 3 of a kind forces waiting there. No, there's a building card, which is interesting. 3 of a kind with a building. 2 actions to go for this turn, so nothing else that'll make 3 of a kind. Really, if I can roll a 3 or higher, if I just can get that 1 more force card maybe, or 1 more weather to get the extra roll. There's 2 of a kind forces staring me down, but I get the roll here. Let's see. 6. Okay. Be very careful with this. But as long as I'm careful with it. Specialist Dexter Smith. That's 1. Specialist Dexter Smith. That's 2. I'm not doing this to be a jerk. I'm doing this because it was causing serious problems earlier. Trying to do multiples at once. Specialist Dexter Smith for the win and to advance in the tournament.
Select target.
Wow. Now I can exhale. Well, good game. I'll have to check my opponent has to stay here in a moment. I will take the victory. So I moved on to the tournament. So let me pull up the tournament tree. That'll take just a moment. Go into here and put good game. All right. Okay. All this trouble to make 2 different scenes for this, and I've been botching it. This is the one I'm supposed to use for this particular overview, so as to not cut off that bottom left. So I've got the victory here. I've advanced on to round 3. I'm going to play the winner between the online end and whoever wins between Oh Noise O and Moonbaz Marty. No word on that yet. So that's how it's looking for the moment. So I advance 2-1. All right. Let me pull up. All right. I leveled up. So I don't know what happened with my opponent there. You saw what happened with me. I got very lucky there in that third match. Because when they decided to volunteer cards from my hand that ended up being what I needed. Sometimes a little bit of luck can go a long way. And I certainly got some there. So it has shown that I've advanced to round 3. So for the moment, I can relax for just a little bit. There's an entire blue qualifier as well. I'll show you that. But give you an update of what I'm looking at here. So it's going to be a few minutes, it looks like. I'm not sure how close O and Moonbaz Marty are to finding a winner. Okay, so I've got to monitor a few different information sources here. Let's see, yes. Put the game, yes, I won. Got lucky, and I really did get lucky. I mean, that's... So hopefully whatever the problems with the server will be alleviated as we get further into the tournament and with fewer people likely playing at a given time. We got a lot of people playing at once. I'll go ahead and I'll scroll down, make sure I use the proper keyboard. Here's the blue qualifier. So let's see. So G-Daddy over Delvis. It's interesting. There were some spotlight. I would love to have some sort of spectator mode for this. But I say that for every game I play, I think. So G-Daddy waiting for a second round opponent. Soul the Cat against Commander. Soul the Cat, I believe, is live right now. So if you're wanting to see some live action, if they've got a match going on, you might want to check that out. Let's see. So, wow, okay. Sean IOP, who's the real deal. Look at that. Sean said, I'll see your round 3, buddy. Move on to the finals. It looks like if that's correct, then Sean IOP, and many thanks again to Sean IOP for donating that very nice card on the prize wheel. Sean IOP looks to be on in that's the blue qualifier. I think it just randomly assigned it. So if you win that round, 50 wax and a booster. That's awesome. So hope for the best in with it. Let's see. I'll scroll back up and get the latest here. I don't think I've played against either Good Trouble or Pennybags Jr. I'd remember a name like that, I think. But sometimes names here might not match what I've seen elsewhere. I don't know. There's some mystery to it, and then some obviously known quantities. I'm not trying to overlook the other side of the board. It's just trying to keep track of what my broadcast schedule is going to look like. So the online end waiting still for a round 2 opponent. So if I'm able to win in round 3, if I'm reading this correctly, I just have to win. That would be the last one I'd have to win tonight, and that would get me to the finals, I think. Rexy says Sean is a beast. Yeah, Sean's great. I think if we played, it's been like once or twice, and I think we played once, and Sean won handily. I was like, no, you don't have to. Declined the prize wheel spin and then gave me a prize to give away. It's really cool. Wonderful community. I can't say enough good things about the people that I've encountered here in the Warsaken community. It's been so much fun playing Warsaken Blitz, and here at this tournament, I'm going to put my skills to the test, or my luck, really, that third round. I may never know with my opponent how that played out on the other side, but again, it was I was very deliberate there at the end. I was not trying to be a jerk. I was not trying to slow roll. I was just trying to make sure the right cards were played, because the last thing I wanted was a misplay to cost me there. Look, there are some things inside your control and some that aren't, but I can be as very methodical as possible, and luckily that worked. So that's got us to this point here. And I'm relatively new as far as people that live stream Warsaken Blitz. So I'm still learning a lot as far as different strategies, approaches. I had fun playing a lot of live streaming using morale decks, unless you know for a fact your opponent has some territories with high negative numbers if they get eliminated for morale, unless you're sure of that, there's no good reason to play morale. Other than I've got some really cool morale cards and want to have fun with that in the live stream and wanted the challenge of it too. So that's the thought behind that. And who knows, I might have a change of heart and sneak it in here to the tournament at some point. So we'll see. So again, to reset, this is the red qualifier. There's the red, and then I'll scroll down for the blue. This is all part of the same tournament going on right now. And the top 4 from the red and the top 4 from the blue will advance to next Tuesday in the finals. Those will be best of 5 matches in the finals. These are best of 3. So Sean IOP has joined the 8 people that won earlier. That 2 different tournaments, trying to accommodate as many people as possible. Appreciate BluMint. See this tournament tree? This is on BluMint's website. So it's really helpful as far as providing a visual. And while these matchups have happened within Discord as far as the individual communication, and I intentionally didn't log into this particular this computer with this account just because I wanted to see what it would look like to an average person that has never played this, doesn't have anything to log in with, and is just curious about what's going on with this tournament. What would they see? And they see, well, a tournament tree. That's a good thing. All right, I'm going to take just a quick break. 5 minutes tops. Back on the other side of that with more live tournament coverage. We're going to be down to 8 people in total by the time this tournament is over. I hope I'm in that group of 8. I just have to win my round 3 matchup against, well, we'll find out, my opponent here at some point. But whoever it is that advances, the winner of that person versus me, round 3, gets 50 wax, but also, more importantly, gets that trip to the finals for next week, next Tuesday. And I love seeing the tournament tree like this. And I'm sure there's a way to pull it up with a browser source within OBS Studio. With that, the technical stuff, again, as I've lamented, that is a challenge for me. Yeah, but challenges are meant to be overcome, at least ideally. So, and again, I'll take just a quick break. Back in a few minutes, we'll have more coverage of the tournament. NashvilleLou live playing Warsaken Blitz. I'm trying to adjust the mouse here. Back in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. All right, back from break. Oh, and I pulled up the wrong one. Technical director in me. Always a struggle with that, but I'll get there with it. Much better this way. So here's a look at the tournament layout as it stands right now. At this point, I've advanced to round 3. So I've already got 50 waxed in for making it this far. So that's good news. I'm happy with that. Hope I can get 100. Hope I can get more. We'll see what ends up transpiring in some of these matches. Still waiting for a winner between Noise and Moonbaz Marty. The winner of that matchup is going to go 2 out of 3 against the online N. Whoever comes out of that's going to take on me, NashvilleLou, in round 3. And the winner gets to advance to the finals 1 week from today. Taking a look at anything that might jump out No, it's just waiting for some information on some of these matchups. Sparky's advanced. See that? And I'm not sure how it will work as far as with the finals, any sort of seeding. It's one of those, if I make it that far, then I'll worry about that. Let the tournament organizers get that figured out. I was very fortunate to have a first round bye. Luck of the draw on that. Felt very fortunate to beat my opponent there in that third deciding game. So now it's a little bit of a waiting game here in this particular half of the bracket. So yeah, first, well, it wasn't that they weren't here. It's that, well, let's see. It was like there weren't enough opponents for everybody to have that first round matchup. As far as people, there may be people that didn't check in or people that maybe double booked. I don't know. And I was more concerned about trying to get the broadcast to look a certain way. It's kind of like I'll let the tournament organizers figure it out and I'll do my best at it. And so I've made it to round 3. Love to make it to that next round, advance to the finals next week. And the way it worked, we had, it's more than an hour, I want to think, as far as the time to check in. And then that cut off 15 minutes before, and it revealed the tournament tree. So that was nice to get a quick look at who would be potentially facing off against. So let's see. So first round, I got a first round bye. So nobody was there. That's why I have the letter B. I presume that's what that stands for, is a bye. And that was just luck of the draw. I mean, the way it worked out. So I advanced to round 3. So likewise, the online end had a first round bye. And it was just bad luck for Noise and Moonbaz Marty to end up having to face off in round 1. And I don't think they'll post any sort of numbers on here until we've got a final. So it's not like we'll get any sort of scoreboard update. So if I manage to make it to the next round, I will have beaten 2 opponents in total to get there. So, but still, I mean, as you saw in that last matchup I had, not easy at all. And there are some people in here I just simply don't know. I see names and I don't know who they are yet because I'm still relatively new to Warsaken Blitz as far as playing the game and certainly live streaming it. It's one of those I wanted to get to the other side of the NFL draft because what I do with DraftKings I've done for now more than 20 years, which is amazing. I can't believe that. More than 20 years. I've been incredibly lucky in my life. Anyway, so round 3, I've got a little bit of downtime at the moment, which is fine because it's a chance to kind of like sit back and take in the tournament. All right, so I see what you're saying there, Rex. See about, okay, so it'd be 100 wax and a Warsaken card if I make it to round 4. So that would be great, obviously. That's one of those, it's like, I don't even want to taunt myself with the thoughts of, I mean, obviously motivation is nice and everything, but I think with wax gaming in particular, the more that we can have tournaments where it's easy for people to see what's going on, you can see the people that are participating. Some people will start to recognize from one game to the next, which is a good thing. I love my regulars, my people that play frequently. After that Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern time, that has worked out really well for me with Warsaken Blitz. Thank you so much to my regulars, to people that stop in from time to time, from people that watch the clips later because I'm doing this at an inopportune time for them. So I don't know if I can, let's see. I'm going to bring up the slate just because doing things live on the air with let's see what happens with this ... can sometimes be a little bit problematic. Plus there's the list there. Soul the Cat. If you're looking for some live action, I don't know. Soul the Cat might have something going on right now. Several people streaming this quadrille earlier. Yeoman's Chore having some vocal issues before we even started to stream. Well, it was more than 5 hours, right? It was a long stream. And it was good too. And I know how it is being a broadcaster. And when you have to, when you've got a long broadcast too, when you have fighting a cough or whatever, that's a difficult part of it. So, okay, let's see. So, if I can show you this part too. It's not the end of the world. You get to see what it looks like where I've got it full screen. Scroll on down. Okay. So there is some more information that's been filled in here. Yeah, I'm reminded sometimes of my days of being a television news producer, waiting for those election results to come in. Oh my goodness. There are few nights more chaotic than an election night in a newsroom, as far as that business goes. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I see wax and esports. I see huge potential. To me, it's an obvious combination. Yeah, Warsaken Blitz. These Warsaken cards look beautiful. I mean, it's such an easy thing. And I think, it's funny when I was putting this together as a concept, I didn't at all think I've absolutely enjoyed giving away stuff for my own collection. And it's been fun. I've enjoyed that. Even though I'm losing matches when I give them away, it's still something that, I don't know, I have a lot of fun with it. And I think when you can have people that are live streaming and having fun, and it's legitimate, because you can't fake that sort of thing, a genuine emotion. I think it's a huge positive for games that are able to leverage that as far as showing other people, show, don't tell. That's what many producers have been told through the years from my consultants. I've heard that plenty of times, and there's something to that. Seeing is believing. I'm going to go ahead and I'll see how this goes. Okay, I'll page down here. So here's the bottom half of the bracket. So Soul the Cat and Commander, I'm not sure what their matchup status is. G-Daddy in the mix. Las Vegas Ape. Watching some of that from Las Vegas Ape's live stream the other day. A lot of live streamers. We talked about Sean IOP already punching a ticket as it appears. I mean, this is just what is showing here on my screen. I'm not the official scorekeeper. But a good spot there as far as Sean IOP being in there. And you can see where some of these second round matchups are getting filled in. Well, I mean, my hope is that there'll be all sorts of possibilities for gaming, for people to see the amazing things that are possible. If you've got the vision and the drive to do it. I mean, I know with Warsaken, the volume of cards involved with this, that's a long process. It's not like you just snap your fingers and there's 100,000 ready to go. There's a lot to it. And making sure all the details are right, because the blockchain will not give you many second chances. And by many, I mean they don't give you any. That's just how it is there. So I'll go ahead and go back up here to the top part, the red qualifier. So it's 4 from the blue, 4 from the red, just like it was earlier today. And while I wait to see who's going to win between Moonbaz, Marty, and Noise and take on the online N, I can go ahead and show you what happened earlier today as far as the tournament. That the Warsaken mobilization was more just like an introduction yesterday, which I thought was handled well. Good chance to get to see and hear from people that were definitely passionate and are passionate about the possibilities here. So, okay, so this was earlier today, and again, as you see here, just like it'll be for my bracket, the top 4 in the red, the top 4 in the blue made it through. And some of these, and again, the sportscaster in me never wants to get a name pronunciation wrong. But it's tough because sometimes I just don't know. Like, I would be guessing. But as you can see, though, Voldemort. I want to think I've faced off with Voldemort before, but a lot of these are people I don't think I've played against. And look forward to that if we end up matching up. I have to make it that far, of course, if that's going to happen in the finals of this tournament. And this is the other part of the bracket from earlier today. See how it played out there. Krish in there. Talking some blockchain brawlers. Be playing some blockchain brawlers tomorrow. That should be fun. Tonight it's Warsaken. Give it a look at some of the results from earlier. And some of these, like I saw them just at a glance, and then I was kind of like off and away to see, okay. Oh, wow, I didn't realize that Christian Meowsy played. Interesting. That's right. I would love to be able to, and maybe someday we'll have the possibility to do this sort of thing, to go back and watch a matchup later, say, oh, what happened here? But still with this, being able to have this tournament tree where you can pull it up and look at it, it's great. So I'm definitely pleased with that. These were, again, the tournaments from earlier. They got the top 4 in the red, top 4 in the blue. The tournament that I'm in now, try and get it properly situated here on the screen. So I was very lucky as far as getting a first round bye. I won 2-1 over a very good opponent. I feel like I caught a break or two there. I know I did in that third and deciding matchup. I try to remember these things when the breaks go against me. You know, it's easier to remember the ones that got away as opposed to the ones that maybe you didn't deserve to get, but you got anyway. But I'm on to round 3 regardless, and it's just a matter of who I'm going to face. So Noise and Moonbaz Marty, just waiting to see who the winner is there. They'll be taking on the online end, who's had a long wait. So that's an interesting one. So let's see. They're getting close to finally finishing their game. You know, online end, I know that you're waiting there ready to go. And so again, it's best 2 out of 3 for this part of the tournament. When we get to the finals next Tuesday, and we already know that 8 people made it, punched their ticket earlier today. I know that Sean IOP's already in from the blue qualifier bracket. And so between Noise, Moonbaz Marty, the online N, or me, NashvilleLou, one of the 4 of us will be participating in the finals 1 week from today. Also, I haven't really played this up as much because there's been a lot to cover with the tournament. This Thursday is 615 Day. That's a big thing for Nashville. It's become a local tradition here in the last several years. 615 being the primary telephone area code for Nashville. 6/15, June 15th. That's the thought with that. The American style, numerically writing the month and then the year, or the day into the month. You get the idea. 6/15, 615 Day. And so that's this Thursday. And so we should have a lot of fun with that. We'll be talking about this tournament. Have a chance, once this is said and done, as far as getting everything sorted out. We're going to find out here before too long who's going to be in the finals. Be 16 people in total. 9 have already punched their ticket. So between Good Trouble, Pennybags Jr., Jishi, I think here, like, I would have no idea. Like, I'm guessing if I'm trying to pronounce the names. And I didn't have to hit any sort of reset or anything, just automatically updated, which is a great thing. So again, many thanks to BluMint. Help me make this tournament possible. Got a lot coming up in the next week and a half as far as live streaming, wax gaming, all sorts of fun. Moonbaz Marty has advanced. So it's going to be Moonbaz Marty taking on the online end. Appreciate the online end being in here saying hello. H Balls, thank you for the follow. Thank you. I appreciate it greatly. So Good Trouble has advanced to the 3rd round and the upper part of this bracket above me. And now, just like me, awaiting an opponent. So Moonbaz Marty against the online end. The winner of that will face me here, 2 out of 3. And one between the 3 of us. And look, at as much as I'd love to go to the finals, if it can't be me, at least to be somebody between the 2 of them that I'd like to see in there for both of them. But obviously, all 3 of us can't get in. 2 of us can't get in, only 1, the way this tournament has played out. So I'll take on the winner of that matchup as soon as they're done. Your BluMint, awesome. Thank you. I think with BluMint, there's a lot of potential for people that maybe play games on one particular chain and not another to say, okay, I haven't heard of this. Let me see what I can find out about these other games. And it's interesting to me to see there's so many different ideas that are being worked on and games that are being produced. And I think anything that, with esports, and a good friend of mine worked in that business for a while. And if they shut the business down during the pandemic for some obvious reasons, but beyond just the problems of 3 years ago, just the supply, trying to get enough machines where they're all the same, but high power enough to play those high-end games. And it was just very difficult to make it all make economic sense. But if you've got something like this where you get people from around the world to play against each other, and where the players own the assets involved, which is such a wonderful thing. It seems like a no-brainer, but when you've got an industry that's conditioned in many ways on selling the public things that the public doesn't actually own. You're a salesman selling flies. And now we've got ourselves a much better setup. And I think the more that people see this and realize the potential, the better. So for the moment, it's just a bunch of round 2 matchups on the right side. So for me, I just have to win one more round to get to the finals. For Moonbaz Marty in the online end, the winner of that matchup faces me. One of the 3 of us are going to the finals, so we'll have that to look forward to here in just a little bit. But I know how frustrated I've been with certain platforms that don't even want to acknowledge games. It blows my mind, and yet it doesn't, because sometimes in life you gotta deal with nonsense. Point being, when there are people that recognize that and say, here's an opportunity, and you provide a place that not only welcomes it, but embraces it with these tournaments like this as far as Web3 gaming. And I think that's a wonderful thing, and I'm glad to be part of it. And looking forward to having my round 3 matchup here in just a little bit. I'll go ahead and scroll down. I don't want to ignore the other part of the bracket. It's just I want to keep a close eye on who my next opponent's going to be. It's either going to be Moonbaz Marty or the online end. 2 out of 3. Whoever comes out of that matchup, we're going to face off, and winner of that goes to the finals 1 week from tonight. So to the moon is to round 3. See some of these spots get filled in a bit. Well, this is interesting up here. G-Daddy against Melon Tusk. Soul the Cat against Commander. Soul the Cat, who's live streaming. I'm not sure what the status is of that matchup. Trying to keep an eye on it. I don't want to have there be a message in Discord that I'm missing. I get paranoid about that. But I think this particular setup's a great example of how you can use Discord for communication and for people that are involved. Yet you can go ahead and use that already existing group of people and then bring it to the world with a tournament that people can keep track of and see. You don't even have to sign in to see what's going on. You don't have to sign up for somebody's Discord yourself. You can just look and see. And ultimately, when people are playing and having fun, That's the kind of advertising you can't buy. That kind of legitimate, positive emotion. Part of the fun of gaming. All right, so as noted, Sean IOP is in, and that's the only one thus far from these late tournaments to have made it to the finals. Hey, thanks to Carl Casey at White Bat Audio, providing much of the great music that it's almost a dark synth sound that really fits, though, with Warsaken. And so while we're on the same page as far as the qualifiers go, I have no idea as far as for the 16 finalists that'll be competing next week, how that's going to split beyond this. So I'm interested to see who else is going to make it out, because we haven't had a tournament like this before. Like, I know there have been Warsaken Blitz tournaments, but not like this, which is why I'm very excited about this. Excited about with Blockchain Brawlers, what they've got coming up here soon, and a lot more with these competitions coming up here. I love a good tournament. Okay, so an update. You're saying there's some AWS issues. Yeah, and that was a problem I had in my second round matchup. Hopefully they'll be able to get that sorted out. You know, sometimes there are challenges that you can do your best to anticipate and have everything set up where it should be ready to go, and then something goes out that's outside of your control, maybe. Enough years in broadcasting up or satellite windows that many years ago when I was down in Florida, it was Gannett. They don't own them anymore. They've split off their newspapers now. But when they were in the TV business, I was Gannett, they would have these, like, from Arlington, Virginia, right next to DC, like kind of promoting USA Today as well. And they had these like 5-minute increments. And the station before us always went over, and it would drive me crazy. And sometimes in life, I mean, I complained every time. I said, look, I mean, that was Mr. Clean show. I wanted a clean broadcast. I cared very much about that. And so if I have to make my anchors, they're the ones that end up looking bad. If they have to tap dance for 30 seconds because the station in South Carolina doesn't know how to wrap it up in time, can't time a newscast, I'm the one that has to suffer. And ultimately my anchors are the ones that look bad if I don't put them in position to have a standby story or something else. So all those sorts of concerns are things that I do not miss at all about the television news business. I'll tell you that. Anyway, long way of saying, I know it can be frustrating when technology doesn't want to work, but it's amazing to think that, you know, here we are with this very fun game here with Warsaken Blitz in this tournament. Able to enjoy it here live. So I'll go ahead and scroll back up. So after that very intense matchup there, to start things off, after both my opponent and I had that first round bye, just luck of the draw. Trying to get to that point where I advance to round 4, because that'll put me in the finals Tuesday of next week. But if it's not me who goes from this particular bracket, it's either going to be the Online N or Moonbaz Marty. And if it can't be me, either of them, you know, two solid competitors there. No complaints if that happens, but I will try to win, of course. And again, there's some people where maybe I see orange, and I don't know what that person's wax address is necessarily. So I could have easily played people before in Warsaken Blitz and not even realize it, even seeing their name now, because I don't necessarily have a name to correlate with whatever the name was on screen, which is usually just the wax address. Thank you for the update. Now in a spot here where I can, if I have to wait, that's okay. We can take our time with it. I don't want to, I never want to waste anyone's time, but look, if the system's having issues, and we saw with that third match, just getting it connected was tough. So hopefully, though, as some of these first round matchups become second round and then third round, it means fewer people playing and maybe a little bit less taxing on the system. And along with whatever issues are going on with AWS, they're trying to get that worked out. And again, I intentionally had it where on this particular browser I pulled up on this screen here, I'm not even logged in because I wanted to see what it would look like for somebody from the outside. Said, okay, Lou, what's this latest crazy idea of yours? And I said, well, okay, call it crazy or whatever. Here's what it is. It's a fun tournament. And here's, the tournament tree. And when you can actually see that, there's a visual to go with it. You've got the little small photos, but you're able to set that in your own settings. So being Warsaken, that's why I'm not smiling in that photo. I've got my new, brand new, as in very recently purchased broadcasting glasses, think of them. Look, if I'm calling men's lacrosse, I've got to see some stuff from far away. I got to read those jersey numbers very quickly. And my old specs weren't quite cutting it. And then I lost them. As much as I want to try and be a professional, have every base covered at all times, I had never been in the scenario of glasses fell out of my shirt pocket, I didn't notice it, and now they're missing. And they were just gone. But that was an old prescription going back to Columbus, Ohio, so maybe in some ways a blessing in disguise. So anyway, point being, I want to at least have a photo with the new glasses. And so I found one with me not smiling, just kind of smirking, because with that particular photo I've got on the Warsaken be right back screen, everybody else is looking like they've seen some difficult things in war. If I'm there with a smiling photo, I tried that initially. I'm like, oh, this doesn't look right. It's there's a cognitive dissonance. It just doesn't make it work. So, anyway, that's the long-winded way of me explaining the thought process behind it. I could have just gone with the giant LOU letters, the purple background of the white letters, and maybe I should have, but I went with a photo, and so that's that. So I'm going to go ahead and page down. I say scroll down, but just maybe a slight scroll. Distillate. I don't know if Distillate and I have ever had a match. So again, some mystery. I'm sure there are a lot of these people I haven't faced off against before. Imagine there's a lot of new competitors, people that heard about the tournament, thought they'd want to get in. Waiting to see the winner between Soul the Cat and Commander. G-Daddy, Melon Tusk. Again, meanwhile, Sean IOP is already goodbye and good night as far as being the first of these late tournament matchups, advancing on to the finals. Try and get this on screen. So this is NashvilleLou Live Tournament Edition. Playing Warsaken Blitz. Tomorrow, I'll be playing Blockchain Brawlers. That'll be earlier than my usual spot. I'm still not sure for my Wednesday, 10 p.m. To be determined for that for tomorrow. We'll see how my voice holds up after this. But we'll have some fun with that. And then Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll really get things going. 615 day. Be having a lot of fun playing Warsaken Blitz. Talk about the tournament. Anyway, we go ahead and scroll back up so it's not me yakking about this, and then it's the results are in. I'm not paying attention, so I'll keep it up here for now. And again, for my purely selfish reasons, the only thing that matters for me at this point is who wins between Moonbaz Marty and the online end, as far as who I have to play tonight. That's the last matchup, win or lose, that I'll have here in round 3. But again, I want to reiterate how grateful I am to the Warsaken community. I almost think it almost sounds like I'm blowing smoke because I bring it up so much, but there are some great people that care about this game and are very unselfish about it, have been very giving. It doesn't go unnoticed or unappreciated. And it almost like it inspires other people to be generous as well. Okay. My first efforts at putting together a prize wheel, I think a little bit lackluster compared to what it really needed to have card-wise. And it's one of those things where it really has made me happy. It legitimately makes me feel happy to give away these cards and prizes. I want to make sure these are things that people actually want. So it's like, they're at least the very rare. And I try to keep that to like 10 of them out of 50 on the wheel. Well, I'm glad to see that as far as that they've been very patient. And likewise, y'all been patient, making sure everything's getting lined up. It's difficult when you have a lot of people learning a new system for the first time. There are inherently going to be challenges. You got server issues, things that sneak up that you just can't do anything about. So, you deal with it as best you can, and you go from there. Like, not to keep talking about past broadcasting accolades. That's not even what this is. It's thinking of like times especially when I was my early days, 22, 23, 24 years old, I'm telling people twice my age what to do, like an entire room full of people. And when that's the reality, you're going to get challenged all the time because, who's this hotshot kid that showed up here in Tampa, Florida thinking he knows this, that, and the other. Funny, up until about the age of 30, I was almost always the youngest person or one of the youngest people in whatever group and whatever's going on. But look, I don't care how old you are. That doesn't matter. When it gets like crunch time and there's breaking news and your live shot goes out, or you've got two different people live out like a blizzard. And you're like, is the signal going to hold? And you're trying to you have to try and almost predict the future. Will this live shot stand? You better know to have, if that shot goes to black, time stands still. You have to have an immediate idea of where to go. And that can get very stressful. So I don't miss that part of it at all. Now I do get frustrated with the live streaming elements. Sometimes OBS Studio not cooperating. Sometimes my own inability to get technology to work the way that I want it to. As I have to stubbornly learn things the other way, which is be the right way usually. But I don't know. And yeah, I love it. I thoroughly enjoy being able to just sit down on my couch or my desk or whatever and just live stream whatever it is that I want to. It's quite nice. So right now, waiting on a winner between Moonbaz Marty and the Online N. That was a relatively recent starting time. So at some point, we'll get a winner between those two, and then that'll be who I'll take on. 2 out of 3 falls here for round 3. The winner advances to the finals, which will be next week. So we'll go ahead and peek down at the other side of the bracket. So Melon Tusk has advanced over G-Daddy. I was pulling for G-Daddy because I know G-Daddy. Melon Tusk, someone I don't know, but victorious. Oh, 1-1. Thank you. Online N with an update. Tied up 1-1. Moonbaz Marty and the Online N tied at 1. So they're going to a third deciding match. And the winner of that faced me in round 3. Best 2 out of 3 winner of that advances to the finals. Interesting to see the names. Just some that I know and not a lot that I don't know or didn't know until today. Interesting to see who's involved and was able to get the victory. Oh, sorry to hear that, Flaw. Hello. Yeah, I didn't realize that it was already, because I wasn't even looking at the prizes. I was just looking at, okay, who am I going up against? What round and how far do I have to get to make it to the finals? Knowing that the further you get, the more lucrative the prizes are, and that's a wonderful thing, obviously. So it's been like one of those nice surprises. Like, okay, great. So that's interesting, Flaw. So you said you won the first battle, the second very close, the third unfair, just like bad RNG, or did the game malfunction, or what happened? So 100 wax and a G-Force card. Awesome. Okay. Oh, in 2 turns. Oh. Yeah, you're right, Flaw. It's a game at the end. You're exactly right. 4, 5, and 6, and weather. You're 1, 2, 1, 2. Sometimes that happens. And at least they give you 2 out of 3 with these. And I think that's important because one match, you can have that where you just... I mean, that was what the John Jay, my opponent, in round 2, where I had that WMD right out of the gate in that first matchup, and it really set the tone for that match. And that was just me being very lucky. Very lucky with that third match, the way things worked out. So I'm going to take just a quick break as we wait. The winner between Moonbaz Marty and the online end tied up at 1 at last word. So we'll figure out who gets that third deciding victory there in round 2 of their matchup. And they'll look to face me 2 out of 3 in round 3. The winner gets to go to the finals 1 week from today. A lot going on. Excited about it. Much more ahead. Stay tuned. NashvilleLou Live Tournament Edition. Like Warsaken Blitz. Stay tuned. All right, back from break. Hold up the slate there for just a moment. Appreciate everybody who's taking the time to watch or play these tournament matches. Fellow live streamers, I greatly appreciate it. I love having people running competition against me. Soul the Cat's got a great live stream. A lot of people watching over there. So an update of what I got going on here. Mid to round 3. I was fortunate, very fortunate, got a first round bye. So I didn't have to face anyone until round 2, but the John Jay, very tough opponent. And again, I feel very fortunate to have won that third game. That got a little bit weird, but you take a win any way you can get it, I suppose. So for now, we wait for... It was on BluMint right now. Great. I knew that there was the possibility. I wasn't sure if it was going to be me on there or if they're going to have y'all going to rotate it, but I appreciate y'all having me up there on BluMint. Again, I feel very strongly about this, that for Web3 games to really catch on, people have to know that these tournaments are happening. They have to get them outside of Discord as far as what the public can see, in my opinion. Now, I'm just one guy with an opinion. I get that, and there's 1,000 different ideas and ways to do things. And Discord can be very powerful as far as helping people communicate. And for tournaments, there are ways to make it work. And I think this is a nice matchup of utilizing the positives of Discord and the ability to communicate quickly, even with people you don't know that well, or maybe just met tonight, like we're able to do those matchups. And yet, for people who have no idea what any of this means, saying, Lou, what are you up to now? What's his latest wacky idea? Say, well, my wacky idea is I'm in round 3, and if I can get 2 out of 3 falls over the winner between Moonbaz Marty and the online N, I get to go to the finals. So, fun spot here with a fun game. Warsaken Blitz. Stand by, please. Oh, that's interesting. So, is it a rotating coverage? I wasn't sure how that was going to work tonight with BluMint. I was really happy earlier. I was really impressed with what Quadrell was able to do. He had the bulk of that schedule there with the early tournament to broadcast. He was having problems with his voice before even going live, and that's tough. That's real tough. But he's a trooper. Did a great job with it. But I appreciate everybody's taking the time to, however you're managing to watch this, either now live or later, video on demand. But I think it works out really well. Again, when you use the positives of Discord and then the positives of being able to put a tournament like this together where everyone can see it, and you got this tree and it updates itself, I don't have to do anything, which is quite nice. Because again, technical directing, not my strong suit. Oh, interesting. Okay, so make sure, so it's got multiple options, and I think that's a huge positive as far as people that can live stream in languages that aren't English. Unfortunately, I'm the stereotypical American with that, but I know there are a lot of people out there who can speak many languages very well, and it doesn't even mean they have to have like a ton of content. But if someone can play for just like an hour or two and explain what they're doing, explain the game in a way that people can understand, the more you understand the way a game works, the more inclined you're likely going to be to play it, at least in my experience. Responding there on chat saying, yes, I can see that working very well. So right now, awaiting the winner between Moonbaz Marty and the online N. Last word, they were tied up 1 apiece. Okay, great. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know as well. Because there was some unknown to me as far as how that was going to work, how the coverage is going to be with that. But it's wonderful to have options. Some people's styles will appeal more to some people than others will to others. Just the way it works. I've got that very much a sports broadcaster style. Some people have a lot more of a chill style, maybe a lot more of a conversational. Although with Blitz, you can be very conversational. I might get a little bit hyped up talking about the tournament tree, but I mean, it's a big deal if I'm able to win over whoever advances between Moonbaz Marty and the online N. The winner advances to the finals, and so that should be a lot of fun, whichever of the 3 of us end up advancing. So I'm going to page down, take a look at the blue qualifier. So Sean IOP, thus far the only person in this late window to have secured a spot in the finals for next week. So Soul the Cat lost Commander in 3 sets. With Millentusk against Commander. All right. I'm not sure. That's like the one first round match, that bottom right corner down there. I'm just not sure what's going on with that. But the one that really is of interest for me at this point, Moonbaz Marty in the online end. So as be above me, as you can see there, it's Good Trouble and Jishy. So the winner of that matchup will be heading to the finals. Orange against Downtown. To the Moon against Silent X Necro. You see the names filling in there as far as in this red as it is the red qualifier. The other one's the blue. It's easy enough. So soon enough we'll have this matchup ready to go for round 3. But it really is something with Warsaken Blitz that it really makes it easier, I think. Getting super close to finishing. It says online in. Okay, thank you for the update. Tied at 1, just a move or 3 to win. Keep a close watch out for that. And if you need a few minutes, like to get situated between that and the start of our matchup, certainly fine. I mean, I'm ready to go, but I can be patient. This is going to be my last matchup of this part of the tournament, win or lose, since if I win, I go to the finals. If I lose, I'm out. And just like rounds 1 and 2, round 3 here with this tournament is 2 out of 3. When it gets to the finals, be out of a group of 16, best 3 out of 5, as I understand it for that. So, something to look forward to. But I continue to be impressed by the creativity that I see from so many people in this world. The Web3 world has drawn in some people with some unique skills, some really, really sharp people. And it's fun to see what's possible. And I've drawn correlations before to being like a little kid in the mid-1980s and playing these, what now would look, completely ridiculous video games that, but at the time, these were things, these games, these concepts that would seem trite now. At the time, it was like novel. Like these games had never existed before. And even if you're talking about a shareware disc with 100 games on it and like 3/4 of them are, not worth your time. There were those gems you could find. I was always thinking, what's possible? Same thing with mid-1990s, learning HTML and the rise of websites. And there's certain elements of both of those. Again, those were just the ages I were at those particular times and the experiences I had. I was 18 years old. I just turned 18, started at the University of Evansville. I wanted to build a website. I don't know coding well at all, and I didn't to start with, period. And buddy Andy Capps, that I met, who knew websites, able to get me started, looked at enough other like page sources from August 1995 websites and was able to cobble something together and start building websites, and I'm still doing it today. Anyway. Wow. So Moonbaz Marty victorious over the online end. Wow. Good game. Thank you for letting me know. All right. That's a tough one there for the online end. Congratulations to Moonbaz Marty. So that's going to be up next for me here. And let me look in the BluMint Discord here and see. I want to make sure I'm ready to go when they give me the notification. I think I found the room here, but let's see. Congrats on the win. All right, so it's no rush for me. If you need a few minutes to get ready, if you're ready to go now, we can do that. I don't know. I don't want to rush anybody with this. Type or hype. Well, like I was saying while you were playing the match, I was like, well, whichever between the two of you, whoever wins, like obviously I would like to go to the finals, but if it's not me, I'm glad to know it's one of the two of you. It's tough when there are two people you cheered for that not only are facing each other, but the winner has to face you. Way it goes, though. That's part of the fun of this, being a game. It's a tournament. But again, many thanks to BluMint for helping to make this tournament possible. It's the Warsaken. Set 2 is getting ready to come out soon. That should be a lot of fun. Also, thanks to AtomicHub for helping to make this possible. Tomorrow, Blockchain Brawlers is on the agenda for me. Then Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, it's more Warsaken Blitz. Be breaking out the prize wheel at 615 Day. And while that might not mean much to a lot of you, being here in Nashville for something that wasn't some sort of corporate idea that was shoved on the public, but something that kind of organically happened. I tend to think of Lightning 100 Radio. I love Lightning 100. They do such great work over there. Anyway, I think of them with 615 Day, and to celebrate that, and to celebrate my hometown in Nashville, and to have the timing work out where it's this new Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern time slot where I'm playing Warsaken Blitz anyway. I mean, sometimes things work out in life, and when that happens, you try to make the best of it. So, should have a lot of fun this Thursday, 615 Day. But before that, got the issue here of the matchup with Moonbaz Marty. So I'm going to wait until they give me the go-ahead to get things going. I should probably pull up. Oh, here it is. Hello. It's here. Okay, good. I hope I'm in the right room here on BluMint's Discord channel. It says Red Heat. Round 3. Type here, okay. You're ready. We can get started. Real quick, because I'm sure I'll get this code going here in just a moment. I'm going to scroll down once more, take a quick look at what's going on in the blue qualifier, the other part of this late tournament. We had earlier tournament today. 8 people made the finals out of that. Here we've already got Sean IOP in the finals. 7 more will be in there. I'd like to be one of those 7, but to do that, I've got to get past Moonbaz Marty. Okay, well, it shows Moonbaz Marty advancing, so I guess we can go ahead and get this going here. All right, so you have a code. Ready whenever you are. Again, I've had some time to sit here and be ready, so I'm not gonna be mad if you need a couple of minutes to get ready. Get situated after that long, 2 out of 3, right? I know it says 2-0 up there, but I know those scores don't necessarily reflect. It just has who will advance more than anything. All right, so switch back over to the Warsaken app. And there's a list of other people involved with the stream schedule. Quadrell earlier today. Again, yeoman's chore. Great work by Quadrell, especially dealing with some vocal issues right before showtime. I can empathize. 28 years in broadcasting. I've been there. I know how it can be, but great job by Quadrell soldiering through the online end. Thought we'd have ourselves a battle here, but not going to be on this night. But good job with that broadcast earlier. Solicat. And then new ENX, I don't know that I've heard before, but the more people live streaming, the better. So, let me see here. Okay, there's the code. Thank you. All right. Oh, it's giving me the not ready business. It's F5 it. Let's try this again. Actually, you know what? Reset it once again. Let's see if this will work. See? Now it's okay. Sometimes you have to do that to get this to cooperate.
Warsaken.
But it's worth it, and here we go. This is 2 out of 3 falls. Round 3. Taking on Moonbaz Marty. The winner advances to the finals. Make that final 16 1 week from today. It's a lot of that. None of that matches, just the one here. But yeah, I'm going to keep it. It's risky. Use a mulligan. End up with like 3 building cards. Then what do you do? I guess I should probably switch the, this may bring the slate up for a second. Actually, it will bring this slate up. There we go. Had to move some stuff around as far as my scenes and sources in OBS Studio. My roll. 6. Oh, this is going to be a fun play right here. By fun, I mean, it's not going to be too much fun for Marty. I'm going to do 3 of a kind with the intel. Nothing out there in the war zone. You could try to mill 6 from your opponent's arsenal, but in this case, I'm going to force that discard before Marty had a chance to play it all. 3 more actions I can take in this turn. We'll go with a pair of A9 hammerheads. Those are force cards. Force takes out 1 opponent's territory. And we'll go with a pair of Cheetah Z series. By pair, I mean just 1, because I only had that 1 to go. Now is the part where my opponent has to discard 3 cards, thanks to that intel play I made. So this is match number 1. Round 3. This tournament, winner between myself and Moonbaz Marty, will advance to the finals. So 1 action to go here for my opponent. You see that blue dot above, right up there? That's how you know it's your opponent's turn when you see that blue dot up there. And that tough choice of having to choose what you're going to discard and then rolling a 1 on top of it. Yikes. Intel cards will potentially rile up your opponents. So beware. Rolled a 2. Play the second cheetah. So risky to... I got 2 and 2, but I mean, without any of the rest of them having anything that matches, this might seem strange. I'm not going to use that last action here. I keep the 2 remaining spots in my war zone open and end my turn. So my opponent, who saw me play an intel and forced 3 discards and then rolled a 1, had a really bad run of it to start with. This is NashvilleLou Live. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. Having a blast playing Warsaken Blitz. It's a 5. Three-of-a-kind force will take out one of my territories. Three actions to go for this turn. I put it, oh, unmuted you now? Okay, thank you for letting me know. So it's a pair of weather cards. That's it for the turn, okay. 6. Here we go. WMD. Three-of-a-kind, and WMD takes out 2 of your opponent's territories in Warsaken Blitz.
Select a target.
You can only play 1 WMD per match in Blitz. Delphine Bay. That's a nice card right there. -5 morale. Order Carmasani, -3 morale. That's the power of a WMD. Took my opponent from 4 territories to 2. 3 actions to go for me for this turn. I will use 2 of them. We'll go with a pair of Private Sarah Vets. So I have 3 sets of 2 in my war zone. Got 1 spot open, so I'm going to keep that spot vacant. Forego my last action in my turn. So here I am taking on Moonbaz Marty. This is match 1 in a 2 out of 3 battle in round 3 of this tournament. Roll a 4. Many thanks to BluMint. That would make this tournament possible. 3-of-a-kind. 3-of-a-kind with the weather. That means an extra turn for my opponent. It's a pair of force cards. 1 more action to take for this turn. Weather card. My turn. 2. Nothing to make 3-of-a-kind. Those 2 actions will go unused. I'm going to end my turn. And again, some people have a very different philosophy on this and are more willing to fill up that 4th spot. I'm not saying my way is necessarily better. Some of these people have been playing Blitz a lot longer than me. Keep that in mind. Something else to keep in mind, a pair of WMDs over there. It's a 6. Let's see. Again, this is why I'm glad I kept that 4th spot open right here. So with a 6, I go 3 and 3. We'll start with the intel cards. Control the message. A bounce. Now, I could force a discard from that 7 up there, but no.
Select a target.
The Agent Zara.
Select a target.
And I'm going to actually get rid of both. Or maybe, you know what? No, just the 1.
Select a target.
Just the 1, and then I'll get rid of the weather as well. It's a slow rolling cloud cover, apparently. Anyway, you get the idea. So after that, 3 actions to go. And luckily for me, I got 3 of a kind with the Jacks Nash.
Select target.
Bancare Island. And that's it for my turn. My opponent's down to 1 territory, but it's a 4. Moonbaz Marty rolled a 4. This is round 3. Match number 1 in a best 2 out of 3 battle. The winner advances to the finals next week. There are 4 actions here for my opponent. Three of a kind building cards, so going back to get what I sent to the discard pile, perhaps. And you are allowed to look. Well, Agent Zara's in there. Maybe going back for weather. Going back maybe for who knows what. One action to go for this turn for my opponent. Didn't take Zara there. That was weather. Well, there's the tornadoes, so. 1. Well. I'll keep that 4th spot open. I'm going to end my turn. It's a 2. My opponent rolls a 2. There's 3 of a kind. WMD, I'll be down to 1 territory. One action to go for this turn for my opponent. We each have 1 territory left. 3. All right. We'll have a triple cheetah. I'll take out my opponent's 4th and final remaining territory.
Select target. Leader compromised.
When your opponent's leader is compromised, you just have to have 3 of a kind with a force. If you can do that, you can get the win. However, at the moment, that's not really a viable option for me, so instead we'll go with a pair of blinding sandstorm. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Let me think about this. Okay. So no real discernible difference as far as the weathers go, so we'll go with the sandstorms. That'll end my turn. So this is match 1. And a best 2 of 3 battle in the 3rd round of the tournament. Here in Warsaken Blitz. Six. Uh-oh. 2 sets of 3 with forces would cost me the match. Let's see. My opponent has 16 cards. So 3-of-a-kind building cards. I'll retrieve 3 cards from this card pile. Uh-oh. Bring it back to the hand with 4 actions to go for this turn. 3-of-a-kind weather, extra turn. 1 action still to go. There's a force card, extra turn. 4. Three-of-a-kind force. Gonna have a compromised leader.
Compromised.
2-of-a-kind force, but only 2. Let's see. May come down to this roll right here. 4. Already played a WMD, so I don't have to worry about that. Oh, tough spot here. Okay. Play the soldier barracks. I may not get another turn here, but I think this is my only move. One action to take here. I didn't need to get all 4 of those, but I did. Play the cheetah. I just have to hope my opponent somehow doesn't get 3-of-a-kind with a force here. That's... Gotta hope for like a low number. 2. We'll see. Just takes 1 more to match up. There's 3. That's gonna be the match. All right, Moonbaz Marty. Good game. Moonbaz Marty goes up 1-0. Oh, as I drop the mouse. All right. This is Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou Live. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. And I'm down 1-0 in a best 2 of 3 series. Best 2 of 3 matchup here in round 3. Okay. Okay, so I'll put Marty leads 1-0. All right, I got the code here, so we'll get things started with match number 2. If I don't win 2 in a row, I'll be out, and Marty will be heading to the finals.
Warsaken.
All right, here we go. And hello, Quadrails Art. Hello, Tissues. Hello, everyone. Okay. I mean, 2 building cards, not so great necessarily, but other stuff matches. I'm going to keep it. I'm borderline keeping one with 2 building cards like that, but that's what I've opted to do. It's a 6. So it's 1-0 Moonbaz Marty. 3-of-a-kind WMD. 1-0 leading the best of 3. This may be 2 straight falls. Look at that. And then 3-of-a-kind weather. My goodness. Extra turn. 1. All right, my turn. 2. Play a pair of tsunamis. It's a 2. Marty leads 1-0 in our best of 3 battle here in round 3. Winner of this advances to the finals. There's 3 of a kind with a force. I'm down to 1 territory. My turn. 3. Play a pair of G6 R75s. 2 spots open in my war zone. 1 action that I can take this turn. What a violent tornado. So Moonbaz Marty with a 1-0 lead on me in this best 2 out of 3. That's a 6. And that's 2 sets of 3 of a kind forces. I'm going to lose it right here. And Marty be going to the finals. Pair of weather cards. Or 3 of a kind weather cards get you an extra turn or 3 extra actions in your current turn, which will almost always take the extra turn. So it's 4 actions going unused there. My turn. 4. Okay. Well, at least we'll get one of the territories taken out there for Marty with the G6 R75. Try and save really quickly. Delphine Bay Tenant. All right, so 3 territories remain for my opponent. Now I can finally play the barracks cards here if I'm so inclined. And I think I'll do it. Not exactly a mystery what I'm bringing back. And that's it for my turn. I only have 1 territory left. I'm down 1-0 in this best of 3. It's a 5. Uh-oh. Two of a kind weather, 2 of a kind force. 3 actions to go. Another 2 of a kind force. That's it for that turn. Here we go. 2. Well, play the G6s again. I have 1 territory left. This could be it. It's a 3. Just going to take 2 more sets of 3 with forces. For Moonbaz Marty to beat me. 2 straight falls. There's 3 of a kind weather. It means an extra turn. 2 actions still to go in this one. 2 of a kind weather. Here's the extra turn. It's a 4. Three of a kind weather. Another extra turn. 3 actions still to go. 3 of a kind force. Of a compromised leader.
Leader compromised.
2 actions to go. If you've got 1 more card to play up there with Zara, that would do it. Instead, it's 2 of a kind. But then a roll of 4 for that second extra turn. Will this do it? It will. Agent Zara to advance to the finals. You got it. Congratulations, Moonbaz Marty. You beat me 2 straight falls. You are going to the finals. You won 100 wax for beating me there. Congratulations. All right. Good game. Rats. And I'll make sure to note in the Discord channel. So 2 straight falls. That means Moonbaz Marty. We go ahead and I'll bring the slate up for just a second. I'll bring up the tournament tree. Again, many thanks to everybody who was able to stream today. Both the early stuff, Quadrille, stellar effort, despite vocal issues. Did a whale of a job. I'm sure everybody else that's been live streaming has done a great job from what I've seen. And I look forward to watching what I can later. So let's bring the slate down. Let's take a look at this. So Moonbaz Marty will join Silent X Necro and Jishy in heading to the finals. That's going to be 1 week from today. Remember, there were 8 people that earlier today, although in this world, yesterday, today, and tomorrow kind of all runs together now, doesn't it? But several hours ago, that earlier tournament window, 8 people made it then, and we're going to have 8 more by the time this is over. Well, thank you, Marty. I appreciate that. And Quadrille, I was sitting there listening to you talk before the show, as you were getting started with the show, maybe, whatever it was, like before the actual tournament started earlier. And I was like, man, I was trying to think, like, okay, if Quadrille just can't go and they really need somebody, like, do I jump in here? Am I overstepping my bounds of my volunteers? Well, I was like, well, let's just see how this goes before flipping the panic switch. And he did a phenomenal job. Because, that's a grind, hours and hours like that. So great work with that. Congratulations, Moonbaz Marty. Like I was saying before, obviously I wanted to go to the finals. But if it couldn't be me, and it couldn't be the online end, I know you hate seeing 2 people that I'm normally going to be cheering for, battling off to see who's going to have to face me. But that's just the way it works in a tournament. So Moonbaz Marty, who had to also have a first round matchup as well, I got a bye. So, it was a harder path, you'd say, there for Marty, the extra matchup, the variables in play. So, congratulations. Moonbaz Marty advances to the finals. So, let me go ahead and take a look here. Now that I can catch my breath here for a moment. As much as this is very much a conversational, more towards the slower pacing of sports that I have a wide range of experience. I called a lot of 1990s NCAA baseball games solo when they weren't exactly just, going out of their way to get you stats either. So I know the value of storytelling in that. But then sometimes when the pace really picks up, that really gets me going as a sports broadcaster, more like men's lacrosse style or American football or whatever else. So on the bottom part here, Sean IOP is in. And there's DKRIN007. So 2 more spots still to be filled up there. I guess one of those will be the winner between Melon Tusk and Commander. Where Sean IOP, who was in record time, made it to the finals. And then I guess it'll be David ERS against Demetal 13. And that's going to make it up on the blue qualifier side there. So let me scroll back up. And it doesn't say it yet, but it will soon. Moonbaz Marty beating me 2 straight falls to advance to the finals. And so I really wanted to stick with this until we figured out everybody who was in. And while I don't know a lot of you yet, that's yet. Plenty of opportunities for that. Some of you I've gotten to know, and it has been one great experience after another with the Warsaken community. I can't say enough good things about it. So many thanks for that. And look at that. There's the final going in there is noted. Moonbaz Marty heading. So we got all four here for this red qualifier. Now with Jishy, Orange, Silent, Moonbaz Marty. That's the four in the top part. It's the red qualifier. So those four will join the 8 that got in earlier today, my time today, or as it's getting closer to midnight my time, but not quite yet. Down on the other side, we try and keep this on screen, the blue qualifier. So we know 2 of the 4 here, DKRIN 007's in, Sean IOP is in. So the winner between Melon Tusk and Commander will be in. The winner between David ER8, or is that an S or an 8? Or it is an S. David ERS. I knew I was right the first time. Against Demetal 13. And that'll round out the late window as far as the 8 people that'll be advancing to the finals next week. And while I won't be in the tournament as far as the finals go next week, I plan on doing some live streaming in conjunction with that. I think there'll be a lot of people next Tuesday to be talking about this tournament. I'm not sure on the specifics, but that's been true with a lot of this, or what's coming up. I don't know for sure. I'm fortunate this time of year. I mean, this is right. You picked a good spot to have this. If this was NFL draft season still, I get pulled in a lot of different directions with that. And with men's lacrosse, I'm privileged to get to call that. I love it. But you have to go when they schedule the games. And so that may or may not allow you for certain things. And here we are now before the start of American football season in August. And it's this nice little window for me here. And the timing couldn't be better. And we've only just begun. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for the follow. Oriendo D, thank you. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it greatly. If I missed anybody, it wasn't intentional or a slight intended. Because I appreciate everybody who's taking the time to watch, taking the time to follow. It's free. And I think when the big full Warsaken game, when that day comes, when that's going to be, I can only imagine. That's going to be an entirely different thing. But with Warsaken Blitz, it avails itself so well to that player versus player style. It allows people that have never heard of Warsaken to get into it without having to commit or feel like they're going to have to commit an inordinate amount of time. You know, this fragmented world, the easier the better as far as getting new people on board. I think tournaments like this are a great way to do that. I think what BluMint is doing is wonderful. Happy that Warsaken's in here. Got AtomicHub represented. Of course, I've got stuff coming up with Blockchain Brawlers, the When Worlds Collide of my wax games that I'm known to stream from time to time. So a lot coming up with that. And while I'm not going to be in the finals, I'm happy for Marty to get in. It's going to be tough competition, to be sure. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And I look forward to seeing how that ends up working out. So we're just waiting for these last 2 spots here. At 20 at the same time as the qualifier. Excellent. So let me take just a moment here while we look at this, wait for these last 2 names to pop in. When we get that, then I'll go ahead and wrap up the stream here. And again, remind everyone, tomorrow I'll have some live streaming with Blockchain Brawlers. That I have to do on a 90-second delay. That's one thing I love with Blitz. I don't have to use a delay with this. And maybe you might argue that I should or whatever. And if I'm playing with somebody that's using an Intel deck, maybe there's disadvantages to that. But I don't know that a 90-second delay would even, the juice wouldn't be worth the squeeze. Whereas in Brawlers, it's a must, in my opinion. So point being is that hopefully I won't have any more, spoiling good games by typing things in chat when I do have a delay on. But with Blitz, there's so much fun to be had with this game. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for it. Trying to look over some of these results. It can be not overwhelming. It can be, there's a lot of information to take in while you also at the same time as a broadcaster are getting ready to play. This to me is part of the challenge and part of what I enjoy, because you do the same thing over and over again. You know, something that's novel or new or difficult, or you want to see if you can do it. Like I put myself to the test with the live stream I did a week before last Thursday, where I went, was it 8 hours with Blitz? And as long as I took that break every hour, make sure to do my neck stretching exercises, easy for me to say, as much as that does sound maybe perhaps ridiculous, it means me not getting migraine headaches, and there's nothing ridiculous about that, because that's a horror I wouldn't wish on anyone. So let's see, still waiting on the 2 names to jump in here. That'll round out the group for the tournament. As far as who's advancing to the finals. Yeah, for sure, Marty. With standard, there's a lot that I have to learn as far as standard goes, and I will. For me, it's been first things first. I want to get a better feel for how things work with Blitz mode. And again, that makes it easy even for somebody like me. That's okay. I'll put in the time, and I'll do what I can to learn as much about everything. It still makes it easier to have a base to work from and know the different categories. And it just be a matter of, and especially though now with the second set coming out, I can imagine the considerable effort that it must take to get things as balanced as possible when you've got so many different cards in play that can affect things one way or another, and trying to make sure there's a balance that can't be taken advantage of to the point of ruining the fun. And that's a challenge I think that any sort of a card game maker is going to face. But again, I go back to the quality. That's what struck me. When I first saw anything from Warsaken, it was something from, I think, Battle Miners. I think it was some sort of a prize or gift or whatever that I got from there. And it, like, that artwork caught my attention. I was okay, this isn't something that somebody slapped together in 5 minutes and then just going to throw it out there to the masses. There's a plan to this. And the more I learned about it, the more impressed I was. And it's been a lot of fun to see Warsaken, when they had a Kickstarter they had for with the tabletop, I believe. And I don't want to misspeak on anything to that end as far as misrepresenting what they had. But point is, there are a lot of people that are very enthusiastic about it. That Kickstarter was a huge success from all indications. You got some great people involved from everything I've seen. They've worked hard to foster a community that's not just, for show or where you can boast a bunch of numbers that maybe are real and maybe are not. These are real people who have found that this style of gaming is a lot of fun and something that's not only fun to play, but it's fun to get to know other people that enjoy it as well. And you've got a crew that, for the most part, behaves well, especially by message board or Discord or whatever standards in 2023. Pretty good group overall, I gotta say. I mean, that's especially compared with some of the rhetoric you might find elsewhere for whatever else. Point is, it's a good group of people, and when you find that and you find a fun game to play, it's hard for me to complain about that. So I'm going to go ahead and, let's see. I know there are people that may not have seen the earlier part. So here are the brackets from the red qualifier. There are 4 people. From the blue qualifier, there'll be 4 people that'll be advancing to the finals Tuesday of next week. 8 people advanced earlier from the early tournament. My hopes to make the finals fell in round 3. Moonbaz Marty beat me in 2 straight falls, so Moonbaz Marty heading there, and that'll be next Tuesday. But I think when we're able to go back and watch matches, and eventually there'll be tournaments where we'll have people that I think it would make sense to require people to be on camera. And I realize I'm saying that as somebody who's in a tournament that wasn't on camera. Me and my photo there, but just because I'll personally, I'll resist it as long as I have to until it's required, then I'll do it. Just because that's going to be one less thing that I have to worry about until it's required. But I think as far as the overall good of when you can have it eventually, my hope is that we'll have tournaments with streamers or people that are willing to try screen sharing or whatever, but where you can have people's on-screen reactions and you can see that, their visible reactions. And I think there's a world of potential with that. And so it'll be interesting to see how that advances. But with this tournament, we've got 4 from my particular bracket that have already punched their ticket to the finals next week. Go ahead and bump down here. Oh, and there, I'm just looking at the screen, staring at it long enough, and eventually the result comes through. It looks like Commander gets the win over Melon Tusk. It appears 2-1 in that, so it leaves just one spot left. 15 out of the 16 people are set for the finals of this Warsaken Blitz tournament. Again, many thanks to BluMint. And when people can see these brackets, I think it makes a huge positive difference. That's how you draw in other people as well. Like, well, if these people did well, I wonder how I would do in this. Whereas if this isn't something you can actually see anywhere and the results are hard to find, I think you lose what could potentially be a great way to, maybe not a huge recruiting tool, but you're going to draw in some people inevitably. If your game is good enough, this game is more than good enough. And again, this is just Blitz, the simplified version. So it's going to be fun to see how it all works out when they get that all set and ready to go. And I know they're going to do their due diligence. They've done that and putting together this really fun game. So the last outstanding match of this, I guess, yeah, the last of this first week of it is David ERS against Demetal 13. That'll get us to our 16 of 16 and be it for the tournament for tonight. Now, I will say, I hope that before the next tournament that whatever it was that caused issues, and again, with something like this, you can be ready to go, and things that are completely outside of your control happen that cause problems. But notice how people kept a cool head about themselves, and here we are ready with just one more match to go to get wrapped up, and it'll be set for the evening of this broadcast. Like, I'll tell you what I think would be a lot of fun is if you could have, I think even it doesn't all have to be live, especially if you wanted to have people that like casting, certain people, anybody of any sort of renown or whatever that you want to have on to play the game. I think there are ways you can do things in pre-tape form. I think with a tournament though, there's the sky's the limit. We've seen that here tonight. Opportunity for people that wanted to stream, you didn't have to, but I think maybe not anywhere near this size of a tournament, but even if it was like an 8-person tournament or 16 or whatever, if you had it where somehow both sides were sharing their screens at the same time, but I don't know, again, that gets complicated and easy for me to think of, oh, if this could just magically happen, then voila, it'd be great. And sometimes that's going to happen, and a lot of times it's going to mean a lot of hard work for somebody that may or may not be able to make that happen. So again, I'll scroll up to have a look at the top part of the bracket there. You can see where on that bottom left-hand side, lost to Moonbaz Marty. They'll be heading to the finals. I should probably definitely should take a look here at the BluMint Discord to make sure I didn't overlook anything. But yes, thank you for participating. Thank you for having me. All right. But I appreciate BluMint's involvement with this tournament. These are the sorts of things that I believe can really give a substantial boost to Web3 gaming, or gaming in general, when you can have people competing in tournaments and having fun with it and live streaming it too. If you can make it where that can work, there's a lot you can do that maybe was never even possible before. And for as much as it frustrates me that sometimes it feels like high school sports broadcasting peaked in 2018, technology is going to keep moving and going forward, and whether I like the way that that path goes doesn't necessarily matter. But at the same time, I've been so blessed to have so many opportunities through the years to broadcast different sports or events or even new things that would have never seemed possible to me. Even, I'm going to go back to 20 years ago and explain this to somebody. Explain high definition on a cell phone driving down the interstate. I mean, that sort of thing that it's changed things a lot. So yeah, so it's next Tuesday, to be clear, when that's going to be taking place. Now again, Tuesday, I still try to use some caution as far as saying days of the week when I'm talking to an audience that's literally people around the world. But you get the idea. But at the same time, now I'm not sure how they're going to do it with the splits. If they'll have, I'm sure they'll have that information available for everybody to see. I'm not sure how many people, if any, will be live streaming any of it. It'd be great if any of them decided to, but obviously that's a decision. Some people, that's just not going to be an option, which I certainly understand. But I really like that we had people. I guess there was a stream tonight. I'm not sure if it was in Spanish or there was another language. The more that people can learn this game and not have to speak English to know this game, the better. It just opens it up to that many more people. Oh, hey, Mocha Twitcher, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate greatly. Thank you. Well, and I would say this, Marty, one option you have, you can always record it, and you don't have to, I mean, you can decide later to post it. It doesn't have to be live. I think that there's a huge opportunity if you had people like, if they would just not reveal the results or whatever. There's all sorts of potential as far as tournaments go and gaming where you could, again, if you have people that are on camera, and you get those legitimate reactions and people getting excited playing the game. And that's the kind of advertising that you can't buy. I mean, I don't care how good the acting is. It's especially modern day. When you have something that's authentic and that authenticity comes through. You don't have to hard sell somebody after that. Not usually, anyway. So I think there's some options for you as far as the overlay goes. Because, I mean, if you're playing in the finals, you, of course, don't want to put yourself at a disadvantage if you can help it. But I would think that, knowing how strong and savvy that the Warsaken community is, I'm sure that amongst the people involved, there can be ways that perhaps help out as far as figuring out, okay, this will help block my cards from an opponent seeing it, versus potentially giving away information that can cost you something. You don't want to have that happen if you can help it. But yeah, I would say record it, and you've got it. And something that I've found, and it's not just with Warsaken Blitz, blockchain brawlers happen a bunch, where in the moment I'm making decisions because it's my style when I'm a sports broadcaster. When I'm telling you what's going on, I'm trying to make things make sense. And you know, that's because that's just one style. Not everybody's got to do it that way. And that's also part of the fun of this. As much as I want to think there are certain rigid rules of television that in broadcasting, if you do X, Y, Z, you know, make sure, or X, Y, Z, depending how you want to say it. As far as what you should and shouldn't do, well, trying to find the positives of that side versus the flexibility and the potential with live streaming that was just never possible before. But yeah, I would say ultimately though, if you record it, and the long-winded point I was getting to there, was that I found so many mistakes that I made where in the moment I legitimately believed that I was in the right when I was saying something, and I look back later, oh no, I added that one up improperly, or I got it wrong, and end up learning from that. And that hasn't happened as much in Warsaken Blitz, but it sure has happened. And that's been valuable to me to see, okay, what do I need to really pay attention to in these certain circumstances? But if you record it, then you've got it. You don't ever have to share it with anybody else out there if you don't want to. If something really cool happens, you can make like a 10-second clip of it and post it somewhere. Or you don't have to. You can, but if you don't record it, you can't ever get it back. And it's just a matter of how much, if any, if that's too much of a hassle to do or not. But I would say record it. And if you decide not to do anything with it, okay. And if you want it, well, you got it. So I don't know how long it's going to take to get a finish here with David ERS and Demetal 13. But that's the last one. And then if you record it, then you can post it later. The downside is if you stream and you obstruct your cards from your audience's view, that takes away from your audience being able to enjoy it. And that's something that I've given considerable thought to. And, you know, I don't think... Maybe if I used a delay, it would be different, but I don't think so. It wouldn't have been in this case. I mean, it wasn't like I was running into some Intel cards that were just taking advantage potentially of information I might have given out because I'm streaming. When you're playing somebody who's not using an Intel deck, that argument goes out the window. But yeah, yes on YouTube, yeah. All right, here we go. David ERS wins 2-1. So yeah, if that's something you can put on YouTube, and there's not just a whole lot of, like, from 2023, like this year, there's not just a whole lot of Warsaken Blitz video on YouTube. Part of that's because YouTube, even now, Even now, YouTube won't list Warsaken as a game. Do you have any idea how ridiculous that is? That games when I was a little kid for the Atari 400, the 800, games that nobody's playing today from 40 years ago or whatever, that's got full listing on there. But Warsaken, and it's not just Warsaken, Blockchain Brawler, similar deal. And it's just very frustrating to me. So I contrast that with something like what BluMint has done. And I'm incredibly grateful, BluMint, for, and you and the people there, I appreciate everybody who's taking the time to reach out, talk to me tonight, talk to everybody else, help make this event. We got our 16 finalists, 8 tonight, 8 earlier, so that makes 16 in total. So we're able to complete the tournament. Obviously, there were some issues as far as with a lot of people in those early rounds, the system being put to a bit of a stress test. The positive is we got through all of that, and beyond just that, now it's information that the developers can have and potentially use. But that side of it I never see. I just get to play it and have fun with it. I got the easy job. So, anyway, congratulations again to all 16 of the people who made the finals, but Moonbaz Marty especially, congratulations. You earned it. You had to play that first. You didn't get a first round bye. And you had to beat the online in, which is not easy. You beat me 2 in a row. Congratulations on that. So, that's going to do it for this broadcast of NashvilleLou Live Tournament Edition. I've had a lot of fun with this. For something where I came into this, I was like, well, I've got a pretty decent idea for how this is going to work, but we'll see. Luckily, I made it far enough to where I could keep playing and got to enjoy that for a while. Lost to Marty there, but good game. And look forward to seeing what's going to happen next week with the tournament. So again, tomorrow, Blockchain Brawlers for me. Then Thursday, more with Warsaken Blitz. Prize Wheel 615 day. I can't wait. We're going to have some fun with it. So yeah, some notable names in the Sweet 16. Look forward to going through and finding out more about those people who made it to the finals. And we've only just begun. So many thanks to everybody who helped put this together, get this tournament going. And we'll be back Tuesday of next week. See who comes out on top. So that's going to do it for this broadcast of NashvilleLou Live Tournament Edition. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. Thanks for watching. See you next time.